Hey, and welcome everybody to the training today. So we're talking about Volusion, and I want to show you guys, if you're looking at my screen right now, in the dashboard section when you log in, you're going to see a marketing tab. And first of all, as you look down this marketing tab, you're going to see a few things that as you roll your mouse over them, they have a little upgrade link. Okay. Some of yours will, some of it, I don't know which. What you'll see. You may see something different than what I'm seeing, but on this particular Volusion account, newsletters has an upgrade next to it, or My Rewards has an upgrade. Deal of the Day has an upgrade. Yours may be different, but suffice to say, when you're in Volusion and you see an upgrade, that usually means it's a feature of your Volusion account that doesn't necessarily come standard. So, for example, you can go out and buy a Mercedes, or you can buy the Mercedes that has leather seats, heated seats, so on and so forth, right? A GPS system. There's always upgrades to be had when you're purchasing a vehicle. It's the same inside Volusion's shopping cart. Most of you guys have a really good Volusion account, but it doesn't come with every single little upgrade. And the truth is, the reason why we don't set you up with a lot of those is they are expensive, some of them, and a lot of them not useful to us at all. So that's the first thing I wanted to make you guys aware of, especially in this marketing section. Just know a lot of the things that have upgrade next to it isn't really necessarily stuff you need anyway. So don't worry about it. If it's something you absolutely feel like you have to have, talk to your coach about it. And we'll probably help you see why you don't need to have it. But if you still insist, I believe you can upgrade it, but it increases your monthly hosting costs. So it's not usually something I really recommend to my clients unless it's a must, okay? So I wanted to make sure you guys were clear on that first. Second, and the real purpose of this training today is this SEO section right here under marketing. Now, there's a certain point in time where you should be concerned about this. And prior to the launch of your site is not one of those times where you need to be concerned. The SEO, or search engine optimization section here inside Volusion, is something you should look at while you're starting your marketing and while you're trying to get visitors to your site. Pre-launch, when you're just learning the builder or you're still working with trying to set up with suppliers, or you're still adding products, or you're still just trying to figure out and straighten up some of those issues that are preventing you from launching, this isn't an area you need to spend any time on. So don't worry about it unless you've already launched and you've got your keyword research done. So I guess the prereqs should be, and I should maybe put this in some notes that you guys can follow. So I'm going to do that right now. I'll zoom in on this just a little bit. Okay, so we'll say right here, before you worry about the SEO section, 1, have your website launched, right? We've actually talked a lot about what you need to do to launch your site. We've given you a checklist. We've discussed what that means. Let's make sure that's done first. Okay, 2, have the majority of your keyword phrase research done. Okay, so before you should worry about this, you should have already taken some keyword research courses from your coach, and you should have a lot of that research done and completed first. Number 3, I would also recommend, before you worry about this section, have your product page SEO done, and also have your category pages SEO done. I should say pages plural here because you have multiple products, right? So all of your products should have SEO completed. All of your categories should have SEO completed. Once you've got all of that done, then this applies, okay? So let's keep that in mind too. As I give these trainings, I want you guys to have a context and a little bit of a timeline so you know when you should be looking at this, because I don't want one of you guys who are just starting developing your site right now concerned about your marketing and SEO section, okay? I hope I'm clear on that. Let me know if I'm not. So the very first thing that comes up here when you look at this section is your meta information or meta info up here at the top, okay? And underneath that, it says enter meta tag information to help search engines index and reference content on your site. Okay, and then it lists a big long list of pages here on your left. Do you guys notice this right here? By the way, how many of you guys have actually taken the time to look inside this this SEO section inside marketing here? Those of you that are here with me live anyway, how many of you guys have actually gone and visited this section? Many or no? Looks like a few of you have. Not yet. A lot of you guys haven't. Okay. So let me just say this. All of these pages right here don't need any editing at all. Okay? Everything on this list should not be edited at all. Leave all of this stuff blank, except for this page right here. This is your home page meta information. Now, a mistake that a lot of you guys will make is thinking that you're doing homepage meta tags, which I'll discuss here in just a second. You'll accidentally put them up here in the default values section, which is right up here. Don't put anything there. Leave that area blank. In addition to every other one of these pages, about us, affiliate, bulk discounts, catalog subscribe, category index, so on and so forth. These are various informational pages on your site, and they don't really serve a purpose from an SEO standpoint. And I guess what I mean by that is, how much do we care if our gift certificate page actually shows up in Google? Or another example might be our login page right here. How many of us really want our login page on our Volusion site to be something that ranks well in Google? It doesn't really matter, right? We don't care if our login page ranks in Google, because you know what? People who are searching in Google almost certainly are not going to be interested in our login page. What kinds of pages are people in Google going to be interested in when it comes to our site? Certainly our home page, right? They're going to be interested in category pages, and they're going to be interested in product pages. That's it. So from a search engine standpoint, my recommendation to you guys is to leave all of these blank for now. Do we want our returns page right here to rank well in Google? Probably not. Okay. So none of this, I guess the only ones that really have a case is maybe your About Us page. But that's probably it. Maybe your Deal of the Day page, but a lot of you guys aren't going to use that. So just to keep it simple for everybody, can we just all agree right now that the only part of this whole thing that needs any information is the home page? Okay? That's the first thing I want to make clear. All right, so I know a lot of you are thinking, well, what is meta information? Well, meta information is this. It's information that shows up in Google but does not show up on your website. Let me give you an example. If I go to Google and I do a search for this website specifically, or I suppose you could do a search for any, the search doesn't matter. My point will be the same. What we see in Google in terms of page titles like this, in fact, I'm gonna highlight all of these page titles. Page title right there. There's a title right there. There's a page title right there. There's a page title right there. See, those are all page titles. Those right there are referred to as meta titles, okay? That information doesn't show up on your site. It shows up in the code of your site, but Google uses it to display your website link to the world. So each page of your site will need meta information, but just so you guys know the intuition behind it, it shows up as your main link that goes out to your site in Google for that given page. Okay, that's a meta title. What's the meta description? This is the meta description right here. It's this little description of the page that shows up underneath the title. Okay, that's a meta description. And this one right here, you can only see part of it. That's all meta descriptions, okay? It's designed to just share with you a little bit about the page. Google has it created this way so that when I do a search, I can quickly scan a page and I can see the title of the page and I can see a brief description of the page, and then I can decide if it's something I want to click on. If it's something I want to click on, then I can do just that. I can put my mouse over the meta title and I can click into the site, okay? Why does all of this matter right now? Well, it applies directly to this section. Excuse me while I delete all of that. There we go. You guys will notice here that for this website, uptownpearl.com, you'll see I have a meta tag title listed right here under the homepage section, and then I have a description listed right here. This is the very same information that shows up within Google right here. Right? So is it important what I put in there in the meta information? Yes, it is. And for this page that we're looking at, the home page specifically is really what the SEO section is for. Okay, when you do meta information on your categories and on your products, that happens somewhere else. The big reason why I'm showing you this right now is because this is just for the home page. The home page shows up in a special spot, which is right here under marketing and SEO. Okay, so you'd come in and you'd fill out the meta tag information here. Now, today's discussion, I don't want to say much about what should be here, because we talk about that at other times in a lot more detail. But in short, what you should have here is a title, just like I have listed here, that's no longer than 55 characters. Okay? That's the first rule. Meta title, no longer than 55 characters. Meta description should be no longer than about 155 characters. Okay? So those are your two guidelines. Now, as to what you put, well, I mean, think about it for just a second. Remember, this information is going to show up in Google, right? You can see this page has the #1 spot if you were to search Uptown Pearl. Well, guess what? That title still needs to be somewhat persuasive, and so does the description. Because people, even though I may be at the top of Google, may not click on me if my title or description aren't compelling them to do so, right? I should have something in there that makes you want to click. So, of course, what do I have? I have what the page is about, which is pearl jewelry, and I have that we offer free shipping, which is going to be compelling to a lot of people, right? In the description, which is right here, which is a little more information, we say a range of beautiful and authentic pearl jewelry, free shipping on all orders. Shop real pearl necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and more. The goal then of the description is to give a little bit more information about our website in general, what we offer, so as to try to get somebody to click on our site, right? The last piece of this, though, is that we need to use a target keyword phrase within our meta tag title and meta tag description which is pearl jewelry. It's used right here at the start of the meta tag title. It's also used right here inside the meta description. That's the target keyword phrase, the phrase that we want that page to rank for. Okay? Guys, I'm not going to say anything more about meta tags other than to say on a website you need your homepage to have one, which is what I'm illustrating now. You need all of your category pages to have one, and or have meta tags, and you need your product pages to have them. Okay? Now, always, always, always leave meta tag keywords blank. Nothing should be in that field ever. Keep it blank. Nor do you want to click on this meta tags override. The only thing you're doing with this first section is you're doing the meta tag title, meta tag description, you're filling it in for the home page, and you're done. Okay? That's it. That's all you need in that section. Okay. On questions about that, guys, or are we somewhat clear there at least? Stop me if I need to say anything else. Now, let me scroll down to these other sections here so you guys can understand a little bit more about what these are. You've got what's called search engine friendly URLs. Now, you're going to notice some things when you open up this little section. Remember, notice that I just clicked on the arrow to open up that section right there. You're going to notice some that are already checked. Okay, you've got 4 options here. You've got your first option, which is called Enable Search Engine Friendly URLs. Make sure that's checked. It should already be checked, but make sure it's checked. Okay, the second one, use hyphens instead of underscores. Make sure it's checked. The third one, enable canonical links. Make sure it's checked. The fourth one, enable full URL or homepage canonical link. Keep it unchecked. Guys, I'm not going to spend the time and the technicalities about what a lot of this means right now, other than to say the first 3 should be checked, the last one should be unchecked, and let's leave it at that. A canonical URL, in case you're interested, a canonical URL, because it's talked about some in SEO, is the way your URL looks to Google. And when I say URL, I'm talking about your website address. Have you guys ever noticed that sometimes when you go to a website, a URL has different variations, okay? I could type in Nike.com and I would get to Nike.com. I could type in www.nike.com and I could get to Nike.com, right? I could type in http://Nike.com. I could type in https://www.nike.com with a slash. And more variations, okay? All of these would actually take me to Nike's homepage, no matter how I typed it in. They're actually directed to the very same place, which is the homepage, but here's the issue. Search engines see these all as individually uniquely different, okay? These are all different pages in the eyes of a search engine, even though it all takes you to the same Nike homepage. When you canonicalize a URL, you're basically just saying to Google that, hey, I want my preferred URL to be this or that or this. So you basically select a preferred URL, and then Google goes with just that. And for SEO purposes, that's important. For your guys' purposes, do you need to understand anything about that? Really, no. Other than, can we just keep it simple and say we're going to click the checkbox of these first 3 options? All right? Great. And Gail, to your question, yes, in this section, you are only doing this for the home page. Meta information is done for categories and products, but in this section here, we're only doing the home page. All right? Okay. So let's get off of search engine friendly URLs. Let's go to the robots preferences, okay? So this should already be done correctly for you. You're going to want to check mark right here where it says enable robots meta tags. So let me make sure I have a check mark there. I unchecked it on accident. Leave a check mark there. You're basically telling Google that yes, you want their Google program to come look at your site. You guys ever heard of the Google crawler or the Google bot or the Google robot? It's Google's technology that goes out and finds different web pages on the internet. And we want to enable it so that if Google finds us, we're basically saying to Google, hey, it's okay. We want you to look at our site and we want you to put us in your search engine. By checking that box, that's exactly what you're doing. If you uncheck that, you're essentially saying, hey, Google, no thanks. We'd rather not show up in your search. I think the choice is obvious then, right? Why would we would want that checked? So let's make sure we leave that box checked, okay? There's also something called the robots text file, and it's something that's editable where you can tell Google's robot to do certain things. Can I just tell you that we've set it up for all of you guys on Volusion that the default, whatever's in there by default, is perfectly appropriate for Google and for SEO. So let's make sure we just leave it at that. Don't go in here and edit the robot's text, all right? Leave that be. And that's kind of the message of a lot of this. Inside this SEO section, there's really only one thing that you guys are even really adjusting. We've already pointed it out. It's your homepage meta tags, right? Everything else we don't really touch. But I want you to know what it is, nonetheless. Last but not least, the sitemap or sitemap XML, it's called, or the XML sitemap. Guys, a sitemap is designed for you using the Volusion system, and from the help of our marketers, it's created so that it essentially creates a file that displays all of your pages in a way that Google can easily understand it and easily find all of your pages. You'll notice this about brand new websites, and I don't know if you've ever done this with yours, but sometimes if you go out and Google your own website, you only find a small handful of pages. Maybe 5, 6, 7 pages, certainly your home page, maybe a few categories, maybe a few products. But in your mind, you're like, why am I only finding 7 pages when I've got 250 products on my site and 45 categories? Why are all those not included in Google? Well, this is partially here to solve that problem. This file, which is generated on a regular basis, you shouldn't have to come in here and generate anything. You can really just come in here and click on this link if you'd like, and it takes you out to the file that's been created. And here it is right here. This is the XML sitemap for this particular website that we're looking at, Uptown Pearl. See, we scroll down, and I'm going to scroll faster and faster. You see how many pages are listed here? All of these little sections are individual pages of the website. All of those are pages. Okay. So anyway, it doesn't make much sense to us, and we wouldn't use it as a normal website user, but this is created and used to give to Google so that Google can easily crawl through all of our pages, find them, and then take them back and put them inside Google's search engine. That's why we use an XML sitemap. What do you guys need to do about that? Probably nothing. We've already got it created for you. It's listed right here. There's no need to adjust it or change it. Just know that that's where you would find your sitemap, and it's set up for you. Okay. So the moral of the story here is we've learned about the marketing and SEO section inside Volusion today is really just this, that we need to fill out our meta tags for our homepage. Only the meta tag title and only the meta tag description. If you're not sure how to do that, talk to your coach about it. My guess is if you're not sure how to do it, you're probably just not there yet, and it's something that you guys will discuss later. Either you'll do it together, or The marketing department will be doing it for you. Regardless, it needs to be done. The rest of this stuff, if you want to just check it out, you're welcome to. As a reminder, under search engine friendly URLs, the first 3 boxes are checked. The last one is not. Under robot preferences, enable robots meta tags should be checked. Nothing else to do there. Sitemap, nothing else to do here. You don't need to update sitemap. That's done by itself. Just know that that's where it is. Okay? And that's it for your SEO section inside Volusion. Now, once you've completed this, can you say, well, I've completed my SEO, or I'm done doing SEO? No, you can't. This is just, by Volusion's definition, this is where all of their search engine stuff is, so they just call it SEO. But SEO is a whole lot of other things. This is just how Volusion defines it. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew what it was, how it worked, and what to do and what not to do. And hopefully you guys can say, yeah, that makes sense to me. I know just what to do with this section now. Okay? So I'm going to open up for any questions you guys might have before we finish up. If it's a meta tag related question, I don't mind answering it, but keep in mind we've got other trainings that are more dedicated to meta tags. I just wanted to kind of give you a high level. By the way, I'm going to turn off the recording. If you guys are watching this recorded, I hope this helped. You guys who are here live with me, you're welcome to stick around for just another minute. Thanks again.